Hey everybody, this is Erica from the Classy Climb blog, coming today talking about Donald J. Trump won, right? I mean, you're saying, Erica, you keep talking about this. I'm like, it's important. This is an important election, and this is an important time in your life to make a road turn. We had a mom in Houston who has a crazy name. I'm going to let you guys look it up. But right now she's going under Glow Stallworth, and everyone's saying, Erica, give this woman a break. She's just trying to put a standard in her house. Yeah, a standard of fear. Basically, she has 4 children. Clearly her oldest, maybe 8 years old, maybe 9, comes to, voted for Donald Trump in a little kid election at school and doesn't know why he voted. He just did. And so she had packed a suitcase and made him go stand out on the curb at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, real smart mom, right? Made him hold a sign. Clearly thought it was so funny she was recording it and putting it on Facebook Live. Well, this kid's screaming. He's terrified. He's crying. His little brother is crying, who's clearly a baby. And she's saying, if you don't shut up, you'll be out here too. And in that moment, I thought, not only is she traumatizing this kid, and everybody's saying, oh, Erica, get over it. I said, no, because one, if his father was there, yes, she's Black. If his father was there, maybe the joke would have went on for a minute or two, but this is just a woman by herself and no other adult saying, no, that's too far. Now the kid's outside. This is part of why I'm going to have to break off and make a social conservative channel, because I realize without standards, everyone's judging. You're judging that woman, Erica. Yes, because God gives us damn good wisdom to judge and have standards. It's called life. But anyway, she does this, and it would have been fine if it had been a minute, but it was like an 8 to 10 minute ordeal of this kid crying his eyes out. It's completely on Facebook Live. I mean, he's screaming, he's crying. I mean, he literally thinks he's going to be kicked out of his house. Finally, towards the end of this tirade, she asked him, why did you vote for Donald Trump? And he literally says, I see him on the TV all the time. That was literally her comment. Like I see him on TV all the time. That was the only thing. And it made me absolutely sad for this kid, because I just realized he's just watched TV too much. If she'd have took 5 minutes to say, hey, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. That's who we're voting for in this house. As a kid, I remember my parents talking about, we're voting for Bill Clinton, or we're voting for Bob Dole. I know my family voted for Bob Dole. We just are those people. And it would have been clear, like all along the way, I've had clear standards and expectations. Clearly, she's not talking with these children enough for them to even understand what's going on. She's got 3 little ones in Pampers, and she's, 2 of them are in Pampers. The other 2 are clearly in elementary school. So now this thing has been shared about 1 million times on Facebook. Now the woman has social services in her house. She's changed her Facebook. She's taken a lot of stuff down. She's made her 4 kids her profile picture. She's tried to change her name to Glow Stallworth, which is her mom's name. I mean, she's done a lot of stuff to try to backpedal how stupid this was. And to me, if she had reasonable, mature adults in her life, they would have told her this was stupid. Now, my point of this whole scenario is the fact that she's teaching this kid to fear this man, to fear this presidency, to fear what's happening to them, to fear what's going on next, instead of saying, he got in, and now mama's going to have to work harder. Now mama's going to have to do something about it, right? That's really the true answer that she needed to be telling these kids, that now mom is going to do A, B, and C. Mom's upset about this man being here. Mom's upset about what's going on. But she didn't do that. She did not allow herself to have honestly, common sense to say, hey, we're not voting for him, son, and this is why we don't vote for him. So part of my view in doing this is, are you those people? Are you those social justice warriors crying and saying, oh no, he got in, the world's over, people are racist, it's so terrible? Listen, that's not going to help you. It's just not. What this woman did to her son, it's going to have lasting effects. 1, it was on social media. 2, Children's Child Protective Services in Houston are involved. I hope the woman doesn't lose her kids, but this is one of those moments where you can tell someone isn't very mature, that she used her kid crying and traumatizing him as a joke, as something to be funny, as something to put on Facebook Live to show her friends, like, we don't vote Trump in this house. And I remember seeing a hashtag that was rolling up through the night that kind of quickly quit once they realized Trump was winning. Trump ass better not win. And I laugh because I think about, well, 13% of African-American men voted for Trump. can't remember if it was like 9% African-American women voted for Trump, but it was a significant amount of African-Americans who voted for Trump this time around. It was 36% Latino. Technically, they said it was like 20 something, 26% of blacks. But at the end of the day, what happened is these people made a decision, they voted. But what people really need to understand is, are you making your decisions out of fear? Are you staying at a job out of fear? Are you staying where you are out of fear? This is the perfect time. Listen, we're going to have a recession. It doesn't matter who came in, Hillary or Trump. We're 8 years in. Recessions happen every 6 years. People seem to forget, like they're having a good time in their life, so they forget. 2008 was the first one. 6 years would have been 2014. So now we're 8 years. We're really due. So it's 2016. So 2017 might be really rough financially in America, regardless of who's in. If you haven't noticed, if you looked on the airlines, they all reported the end of 2016, they would have really cheap flights. They were preparing for it, right? Some banks are calling a nuclear winter, lock up on loans and lending. So a lot of people in different states are buying houses and buying cars and buying everything they can to kind of keep that thing going right before it may crash. And that's fine. But are you taking initiatives to change your story? Now, we talk about the BBMs or however you want to say it, BWWs, which is really, let's just make it nice. White American men who have had a hard time, who are financially struggling, who don't have the jobs they used to, who lost their factory job, who lost their trucking job, who lost their job. Now, these people have been in their towns and upset, but we got to see full force of what was going on. Now, what's the difference? At the end of the day, these same men and these same women who voted for Trump or Hillary, it doesn't matter if they thought someone's going to save their life, they're going to have to take a step and get a trade. They're going to have to take a step and get new skills. They might have become a truck driver, but a lot of people wait till they're too late. A lot of people I know wait till about 35, 36 and go, damn, I need a new job. I have a friend who works in HR, and she basically tells me she'll look at so many applications and resumes where people have been in the same job, a low-paying job or something, in the same kind of field. They may switch jobs, but they stay in that $10 to $12 range for many years. And then all of a sudden they want to do a job that's $18, $20, $30 an hour. And she'll have to say, well, you're going to need to get this certification, or you're going to have to take a typing class, or you're going to have to do this. And people's faces are like, ugh, I'm going to have to do some work. Yeah, boo, you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to change something. You're going to have to add skills. And that's why I've been really big on nano degrees, community college. Just retune yourself, stay fresh, stay in the know. I have a 50-something-year-old aunt who had to take a typing class because she switched jobs. And it's like, you're going to have to learn new skills. So if you're going to be in fear this season, I wouldn't want to live in fear for 4 years. I'm sorry. iPhone was created in the last recession under the last president. We will be okay. You have to decide now, at this point in your junction in your life, what can I do? Since Hillary's not saving you, if you were like, Hillary's going to save me. No, Hillary's not saving you. And I'm sorry for some of those voters that wakes up January, February, March and realize Trump's not going to save them either. They're going to be pissed. But use this energy to not make your kids sad, not beat your kids up, not beat everybody up in your house, but to actually decide, okay, how can I start investing money? How can I start saving money? Even with the fear articles about Paul Ryan and him tearing up Social Security. You don't realize this country pays out so much money in Social Security, Medicare, the military. Even if we cut our military in half, right today, the payments for interest and Social Security are so high. That's all we would really be paying is Social Security. And I mean, we depublic, public school system. We'd literally just let it go all back to private school, and let the states figure it out, right? Because the states figured it out before about 1960s, 1970s, before the federal government stepped in and said, hey, we got to kind of have every student across every state learning the same thing. So they could do that. States could take control over that and be just fine. That would be still just your local neighborhood dollars going to your school. But again, like I told people, hard assets, guns, silver, gold, lending club. Like, listen, I'm putting a book together about, cell phone millionaire. And it's because smartphone millionaire, because I want people to see that you can invest in a lot of things outside the stock market. Investing out the stock market can be your best bet. You don't have to invest in the stock market. I mean, you can buy land, you can buy so many things cheaply. Pretty much I was in an area that had a flood before I came back to Texas to work on my business here. And North Carolina, and all of a sudden on Craigslist, land for sale is all as far as I can see, for anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 because people needed money. Now, if you have 1 acre, I talk about this all the time, you could put about 2 or 3 or 4 trailers on it, depending on how you turn them, right? You know, preferably 3 max, but just depending on how you turn them and have a mini trailer park, right? Rent them all out. If you own the land, the deed's in your name, guess what? They bring the trailer for free. All right. And hook it up. So here's another thing. Let's say you have 1 acre. You can put about 20 to 30 pecan trees on an acre. You can put 20 to 30 other types of trees on there. You can put honeybees on there. You could have a few things. I mean, it's a small deal, but 1 acre is way bigger than many people believe, because I think people live in apartments and they don't have the grandize or don't see acre lots for often, right? But you can have 1 acre and really have a little mini farm. 2 acres is your best bet, but I've seen it done, and I've seen people make money at farmers markets and on the seasonals, and people who have, you know, a piece of land that they just have off to the side that has stuff growing on it. They keep a good eye on it, but it's not too far from their home, and they know that they can turn around and sell those things. So there's a lot of opportunity. Don't overlook that. And let's say you get a couple of acres and there's a winery near you and they want to borrow some of your land for 20 years, lease it. There's so many ways to make money outside the stock market, outside of normal day as usual kind of things. Just look on Craigslist. Go look at all the gigs. There's a way to start your day and take control of your day. There's a really great book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. It's so important for you to say, okay, what's the one thing that can produce me the results I'm looking for? But in order to do that, you got to start back. Let's go back. Let's go, what do I want to do in 5 years from now? Okay, what can I do to get me to there? What can I do in 1 year to get me to that goal? What can I do monthly to get me to that goal? What can I do weekly? What can I do today? When you start breaking it down like that, the guy who's a felon or the girl who has issues, financial issues or high debt from college debt, she can be okay. He can be okay. If you have a car, and I hate saying that because some people are like, you're going to have a car. You don't have a car. I get it. You don't have a car. We can work on that. But if you have a car, and I meet people when I used to work in fast food who'd be like, I got to get on food stamps. This isn't paying enough. I'm like, won't you just go get a second delivery job and be delivering all day? You know, delivering pizza, my car will smell like pizza. You're broke. You're getting on food stamps. Who cares if your car will smell like pizza, right? Like the stuff people would say would be so outrageous. And I'm like, listen, you can make $100 some odd a day just delivering pizzas and or working 2 different delivery jobs. It's not uncommon, and that would get you about $3,000 a month if you're working every day of the week. I know it's tough, but when you're in a hole, dig out of the hole. And at that point, the $3,000 a month, if you're living with someone, if you have friends, you're in a better condition. But this is what you must realize: if you get injured, if you get hurt, you're done. You can't drive every day. That's why I tell people, if you're going to drive as a transportation as a job, I would aim for local trucking, where they'll teach you in 17 days how to drive a truck, or short route truck driving, which means you might drive 2 hours and drop something off and come back. Annoying if you're on the road all day, but super easy, right? Because you're just backing the truck up, letting it go, and going back down to the office. But when you do it that way, it's easy to get up to 30,000 to 50,000 a year. You just have to break it down. You have to say, what kind of gigs can get me there? And you have to be measuring, and you have to be keeping track. Like, you need to, like, a lot of people use their debit cards, they don't pay attention. If you had to use cash all week, you'd really know how much you make. All right. And if you do use your debit card, print out the statements. Don't let them just send you an online statement, because when you're able to print out that statement, you're able to look and say, I eat out this many days a week. I do this many days a week. What can I do differently? This is a solutions-based channel. Now, my other channel is just me ranting and social conservative issues, and that's different, and shooting guns on that channel. But this channel is about business, and this channel is about how to come up with solutions, because I've been there. I've moved to a city with no job and just a car and had to go day 2, 3, and 4 and run. I've been there where I lost a job and been fired twice in a year and had to get there and do, right? I've been there. It's tough. And God bless you if you got kids, it's super tougher. It's super tougher. I know that's not even a good word. But at the end of the day, as long as you are aware, like, I can do this, I'm not going to fall apart, life will be okay, it gets a lot better. Okay? So look, let's not be in fear. Donald Trump won. It'll be fine. You have to take charge of your life at this point. Look, if you're lost and you need some guidance, check below. I always put my courses below. If you need to talk to me, I have short time frame consults and I have big time frame consults. So it just depends on where you're at in your station. And I love the stories I get. I'm gonna try to put some testimonial videos together of people who moved to Dallas, moved to Texas, who got jobs, who bought houses. I've helped them with credit repair. I love that stuff. I love doing it because I know it'll help you. And why do I charge? People say, why don't you just do all this for free, Erica? I charge because when you pay, you put in the work. When you pay, you go, this thing must make me some money. When you pay, you ask all the questions you want on the phone. You really get your questions in because you've paid cash out of your pocket. And you're serious, you're committed. When you're saying I want to do something for free, sometimes you're just zoning for free and you'll look for hours and you won't really take much action. So everybody, this is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Listen, Trump won, you're all right. Let's make a plan. Let's track ourselves. Let's see how much money we're making. Let's see where skills we need to improve. Maybe a nano degree, maybe community college. Maybe we just need to pay attention to what's going on in our community around us. Maybe it's just our town. Maybe it's time to leave. So everybody, this is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Get out there, get running.